yesterday. Okay, our first speaker today is my sister, Chancellor for United Kingdom, okay, Professor Dr. Augusta Elizabeth Koroma, UK. And she's going to be she's going to be sharing with us relationship, problem, and conflicts. Okay, but before we go any further, we'd like to know who Chancellor Professor Dr. Augusta Elizabeth Koroma is. She has a BSc honor degree in public health, master's in public health, including PhD in humanitarianism and conflict response. She has spoken on sickle cell disorder as a keynote speaker at the House of Commons, UK, global expert speaking in various areas of public health, Nottingham University, UK, International Intensive University, India, Sierra Leone, United Nations, Geneva, Switzerland. She is a public health consultant, subject matter expert, SME on sickle cell. She is the author of Sickle Cell Ailment, My Cry, My Story. Dr. Augusta Elizabeth Koroma personally lost her husband to this ailment at Medway Maritime Hospital 12 years ago. This led her to set up organizations to support people with sickle cell disease. I want to applaud you for that, my sister. That's a great job. Global speaker and chair the group at a roundtable discussion at World EPA Congress in Amsterdam, March 2023. Keynote speaker for BBC Ability and BBC Embrace United Kingdom on the 3rd March 2023. She's also elected Parish Councillor here in UK. April 2023 for Cheltenham, Rochester, Kent, Medway Council, United Kingdom. She's also the global keynote speaker at World Drug Congress in Washington, D.C., May 2023. She is also a public health consultant, conference speaker, and CEO of Sickle Cell Intervention International, registered in the UK African Sickle Cell Center for Education and Research, ASCC4ER, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia. She is humanitarian. Dr. Augusta is presently the CEO founder of Sickle Cell Intervention International, African Sickle Cell Center for Education and Research, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia. She is the Director of Education and Health Promotion for the European Sickle Cell Federation, registered in Ireland. She is also a published author of 4 books and a mom of 2 beautiful girls, a global speaker and a therapeutic personal coach that have spoken in various international platforms and local community platforms, such as BBC Ability and BBC Embrace. If you allow me, I will speak on her a whole day, but I think she is ready for us. We still have a lot. Our service for Sickle Cell Intervention International, registered in UK. Sickle Cell Intervention International provides enabling platform for a robust, effective, and sustainable culture of leadership in education and research excellence, both in clinical, methodology, and clinical sciences. Sickle cell intervention joined up, working, foster diversity, and conduct culturally sensitive research, as well as initiate compassionate, humane, and far-reaching policy that will help maintain progression and sustainable healthcare in SCD cure, management, and control. The service entails advisory service, consultancy service, partnership with local institutions and organizations and international organizations. So you please get in touch with her on www.escfederation.eu to know more about everything about sickle cell and everything about how you can become a great leader, because she is a great leader. So permit me this morning to invite her to the table as to share with us on relationship and conflict. You are welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Elizabeth Lucas. That was a one introduction from you there. I must say thank you so much for having me here in this platform, and also my busy schedule, but it's something that I really want to do today, and I'm very pleased to be in this masterclass to share my most knowledgeable items to various platforms all over the world. I'm ever so pleased to be here, and I say thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the globe. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's wonderful to share my slides in terms of relationship experts, in terms of the master class session on today's relationships. And today I'm going to share conflicts, and I'm sure all of you have gone through conflicts in a way. Thank you. Can I share my slide?
Yes, you can. You are on cohorts now.
Okay, let me find it.
Yes, we're waiting for our wonderful. Yes, we can.
Yes.
you can enlarge it if you want. You can enlarge it if you want.
Okay, let me just see what I need to do here. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can bring it down a little bit. You can bring it down a little bit. There, down, down. Yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Wow. Good morning from my end, from the UK, United Kingdom. Yes, you can International Academy, a masterclass session on relationships, problem conflicts. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm Counselor Professor Dr. Augusta Elizabeth Koroma, all the way from the United Kingdom. Right, today, I'm going to start with introduction to relationship problems, which is conflict. And I'm sure all of you here know about conflict. Wow, where can I start? Conflict is a normal part of any relationship. After all, two people can't be expected to agree on everything all the time. The key is not to fear or try to avoid conflict, but to learn how to resolve it in a healthy way. Relationships are nothing but two different personalities with varying viewpoints coming together. So conflicts in relationships are bound to happen. when they are not accommodative and fail to understand each other's feelings and differences. So what is conflict? According to the definition by Cambridge Dictionary, conflict is an active disagreement as between opposing opinions or needs, to fight or disagree actively between two or more people or groups of people. Conflicts in a relationship that I'm talking today about is defined as any kind of disagreement, struggle, or a heated debate between two people in a relationship. It typically includes an argument or continuous disagreements on an ongoing issue like managing household chores or the way of spending money. So what are the main causes of conflicts in a relationships? What are the main causes, really? Partners can have disagreements for various reasons. One of the most common causes of relationship conflicts is a complete difference in personalities and values. Following are a few other causes. One, power and control. Wanting to have control and power over people is one of the main causes of relationship conflicts. This generally happens when one person enjoys feeling superior to another. The solution, however, is try to put yourself in your partner's shoes instead of trying to control them. What couples need to remember here is that intimidation drives out any intimacy in the relationship, while empathy and respect for each other encourages it. So what are the key points here? Conflicts can improve your relationship if it's handled correctly. So it's not so bad really in conflicts. One is to be direct, but don't blame your partner for problems or be overly negative. Trying talking an outside objective perspective on your relationship problems. So what are the conflict problems in a relationship, really? As anyone who has been in a romantic relationship knows, disagreements and fights are inevitable. When two people spend a lot of time together with their lives intertwined, they are bound to disagree from time to time. These disagreements can be big or small, ranging from what to eat for dinner or failing to complete a chore to arguments about whether the couple should move from one partner's career, deciding on children's religious upbringing. Religious tolerance is one of the main conflict problems in relationship as well. The mere fact that you fight with your partner isn't a sign there is real trouble in your relationship. In fact, when handled properly, fighting can improve your relationship. If you never fight and never talk about your problems, you will never solve them. By dealing with conflict constructively, you can gain a better understanding of your partner and arrive at a solution that works for both of you. On the other hand, it is also possible for conflicts to escalate and create ill will without resolving anything. So how can you improve the odds of a successful resolution to conflict in a relationship? I have prepared 10 research-based tips here. First of all, be direct. Sometimes people don't just come out and plainly state what is bothering them, and instead choose more indirectly ways of expressing their displeasure. One partner may speak to the other in a way that is condescending and implies underlying hostility. Other times, partners may mop and pout without really addressing an issue. Partners may also simply avoid discussing a problem by quickly switching topics when the issue comes up, or by being evasive. Such indirect ways of expressing anger are not constructive because they don't give the person who is the target of the behaviors a clear idea of how to respond. They know their partner is irritated, but the lack of direct leaves them without guidance about what they can do to solve the problem. Number 2, talk about how you feel without blaming your partner. Statements that directly assault your partner's character can be especially damaging to a relationship. If a man frustrated by his girlfriend's jealousy, you're totally irrational. He's inviting her to become defensive, and this can shut down further conversation. A more constructive strategy is used in saying I statements and pair them with behavioral descriptions. Statements focus on how you feel without blaming your partner, and behavior descriptions focus on specific behavior your partner is engaging in rather than a character flow. For example, this man might say, I get irritated when you claim I'm flirting with someone during an innocent conversation. These tactics are direct, but don't impugn your partner's character. Do not impugn your partner's character. Number 3, never say never, always. When you're addressing a problem, you should avoid making generalizations about your partner. Statements like, you never help out around the house, or you're always staring at your phone, your cell phone, are likely to make your partner defensive. Rather than prompting a discussion about how your partner could be more helpful or attentive, this strategy is likely to lead your partner to start generating counterexamples of all the times they were in fact helpful or attentive. Again, you don't want to put your partner on the defensive level, not at all. Number 4, pick your battles wisely. If you want to have a constructive discussions, you need to stick to one issue at a time. Unhappy couples are likely to drag multiple topics into one discussion, a habit renowned conflict researcher John Gottman calls kitchen sinking. This refers to the old expression, everything but the kitchen sink, which implies that every possible thing has been included. When you want to solve personal problems, this is probably not the strategy you take with yourself. Imagine that you wanted to think about how to incorporate more physical exercise into your daily routine, like I do all the time. You'll probably not decide that this also be a great time to think about how to save more money for retirement, organize your closet, and figure out how to deal with an awkward situation at work. You will try to solve these problems one at a time. This seems obvious, but in the heat of the movement, a fight about one topic can turn into a complaining session, and you don't want to be debating every day about it. With both parties trading grips, the more complaints you raise, the less likely it is that any will actually get fully discussed and resolved. Number 5, really listen to your partner. For those of you that are watching me today, how many of you really do listen to your partner? Please write in the comment section. Answer yes or no. How many of you really do listen to your partner? It can be very frustrating to feel like your partner is not paying attention to you. When you interrupt your partner or assume that you know what they are thinking, you're not giving them a chance to express themselves. Even if you are confident that you know where your partner is coming from or know what they are going to say, you could still be wrong, and your partner will still feel like you're not listening. Listening skills is so important in a relationship. You can show your partner that you are paying attention by using active listening techniques. When your partner speaks, paraphrase what they say. That is, rehearse it into your own words. This can prevent misunderstandings before they start. You can also perception check by making sure that you are interpreting your partner's reactions correctly. For example, you seem irritated by that comment. Am I right? These strategies both prevent misunderstandings and show your partner that you are paying attention to them and care about what they are saying. Wow. Number 6, don't automatically object to your partner's complaints. You see, when you criticize, it's hard not to get defensive, but defensive doesn't solve problems. Imagine a couple arguing because the wife wants her husband to do more chores around the house. When she suggests that he do a quick clean up after he gets ready to leave in the morning, he says, yes, that will help, but I really don't have time in the morning. When she suggests that, he sets aside some time on the weekend. He says, yes, that could be a way to schedule it in. But we usually have plans on weekends and I have work to catch up on. So that won't work. This, you say yes. Button behavior suggests that her ideas and views are not worthwhile. Another destructive, defensive behavior is cross-complaining. Cross-complaining. When you respond to your partner's complaint with one of your own, for example, responding to, you don't clean up enough around the house, with you are a neat freak, just like that. it is important to hear your partner out and really consider what they are saying. Number 7, take a different perspective. In addition to listening to your partner, you need to take their perspective and try to understand where they're coming from. Those who can take their partner's perspectives are less likely to become angry during a conflict discussion. All the research has shown that taking a more objective perspective can also be helpful. In one study, researchers staged a simple marital quality intervention, asking participants to write about a specific disagreement they had with their partners from the perspective of a neutral third party who wanted the best for both members of the couple. Couples that engage in this 20-minute writing excessive 3 times a year maintain stable levels of marital satisfaction over the course of the year, whilst couples who didn't show decline in satisfaction. Number 8, do not show contempt for your partner. Do not show contempt for your partner. All of the negative things you can do and say during a conflict, the worst may be contempt. Gottman again has found that it is the top predicator of divorce. Contemptuous remarks are those that belittle your partner. This can involve sarcasm, name calling. It can also include non-verbal behavior like rolling your eyes or smacking. Such behavior is extremely disrespectful and implies that you're disgusted with your partner. Imagine that one partner says, "I wish you took me out more," and the other responds, "Oh yes, the most important thing is to see and be seen and overpay for that tiny portion of food or some rips off restaurant." Would you be more superficial? Wow. Or one partner says they are too tired to clean up, and the other responds, "I'm sure you are so exhausted after a long day of chatting at the water cooler. I've been busting my butt all day, and you just get home and sprawl out on the couch, staring at your smartphone like a teenager." This kind of contempt makes it impossible, totally impossible, to engage in a real discussion, and it's likely to elicit anger from your partner rather than an attempt to solve the problems. Number 9, don't get overwhelmed with negativity. Wow. Don't get overwhelmed with negativity. This can be hard not to respond to a partner's bad behavior with even more bad behavior. But indulging that urge will only make the conflicts worse. When couples engaged in what Gottman and his colleague calls negative affect reciprocity, they trade more and more heated insults and contemptuous remarks. And as the conflict goes on, the negative escalates. And how much is too much negativity? In his research, Gottman found that the magic number is 5-to-1 ratio. Couples that maintain a ratio of 5 positive behaviors, examples, attempt a good-natured humor, warmth, collaboration. So each negative behavior were significantly less likely to be divorced or separated for years later. And lastly, number 10, know when it's time for a time out. If you see yourself falling into negative patterns and find that either you or your partner are not following the tips above, consider taking a time out from your argument. Even if it's a short break from few deep breaths, can be enough to calm hot tempers. What the research on conflict shows here is that both perspective, taking and controlling your anger, are key to managing conflicts well. Airing your grievances can be productive for your relationship, but conflict must be skillfully managed or you run the risk of making them worse. Right. So this is my favorite part wherein I show in my public health skills. So how does conflict affect your health and well-being? Conflict in a relationship can lead to a significant amount of stress between the partners. The ongoing stress can negatively affect the health and well-being of both partners. It can also lead to anxiety, depression, and a drop in sleep quality. Other effects of relationship conflicts can include unhappiness, less satisfaction with the relationship, emotionally and physically withdrawn from everything, lack of interest to work on conflict resolution strategies, various types of insecurities, harmful physical behavior in extreme cases like violence. Conflict triggers some very strong emotions that can lead to disappointment, feelings of hurt and discomfort. When handled in an unhealthy manner, they can lead to irreparable breakups. If you've done all that you can in the relationship and it's not really working, you need to seek help. Talk to health professionals. They're experts around the globe that you can talk to. If at any point you feel that your relationship conflicts are getting out of hand, seek professional help. If you and your partner cannot stop fighting over trivial issues, it is probably a sign that you need to expect intervention to help improve your relationship and understand each other better. So today, in my conclusion on conflict in a relationship can be very stressful, like I have said, but they can also make relationships strong. Essentially, conflict between people make them aware of their problems in their relationships and how they can address them effectively. It is essential to know the cause of conflict, to deal with them healthily. Disagreements in a relationships are common, but what matters is how you choose to deal with them. The way you tackle an issue with your partner can determine how healthy and unhealthy your relationship is. Naftali McGill, LMFT, says, conflict in a relationship is normal. It's how we handle it, and that matters. By using active listening and taking the time to truly understand one another, we can use conflict as an opportunity to grow closer and strengthen our relationship. Remember to listen actively Summarize and check with your partner. If you understood them correctly, then switch roles. From there, you can work on finding a compromise if needed. It is essential to talk about the issues in the relationship and what is going right to motivate each other. If at any point you feel like you cannot talk openly because certain aspects like kids, money, or aspirations, it could be a sign your relationship is not healthy. Anger and pride are the biggest evil factor and the largest elephant in the relationships. If we can eliminate it from our life, that will be perfect. And today, for all of you that are watching here, I have a mini quiz for you. Are you ready? So you either say either A or B or C. So I've got 2 questions here. Please write in the comment section. 1, name 1 areas of successfully improving areas of relationship conflict. A, don't get overwhelmed with negativity. B, violently slap your partner's face in an argument. C, don't listen to your partner. So you either be A, B, or C. So you can write in the comment section for A, B, or C. Have you done that? Okay. Number 2, what are the 2 main biggest evil factors in conflict relationships? What are the 2 main biggest evil factors in conflict relationships? A, peace and tranquility. B, anger and pride. C, shouting and hugging. A, B, or C? Choose your answers, please. Have you got that?
Yes, we've got that. We've answered.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's
I hope we
wonderful.
got it right.
I hope you got it right. Yes. I hope you got it right. I will, check the answers later, and I will respond to your answers as well whilst I go through this. So we are all end of my session here today on this powerful masterclass of problems, relationship in conflict. I do hope you've learned so much with my teachings here today on conflict. And I hope you will take that on board in your personal relationships. And I hope that you will embed the subject of taking off negativity of relationship, taking off anger and pride. Being arrogant is one of the things that I really hate. And anger leads to so many issues in terms of your health as well. So I always, even my children, I always say to them, try not to be in anger. I used to be very, somebody that gets angry on everything, but it's something that I learned how to do spiritually. I'm a very calm person now, very, very calm. You know, I do know the significance of anger, and I know how it will cost me if I get angry. So I stay in a very positive way and stop anger and pride. So today, thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth, for having me here today. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers from all over the world. It's wonderful. It's a great pleasure of having me here today. Love from Councillor Professor Augusta Elizabeth Koroma. I'm a parish councillor for Hussen's Werberg, UK, public health consultant, author, entrepreneur, CEO Sickle Cell Intervention, Africa Sickle Cell Center for Education and Research, Director of Education and Health Promotion, therapeutic coach, and global speaker. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, 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 wow. Please still leave that slide of your information. So if anybody wants to get in touch with our Chancellor, Professor Augusta Elizabeth Koroma, please, the information is just right there. So you can write it down and you can connect with her at any time. info@sicklecellintervention.co.uk, and also you can visit the website to see all the activities going on there on www.sicklecellintervention.co.uk. So that is the way you can enjoy and connect with our speaker, great speaker this afternoon or this morning. But before we go, you can put your slides down, please.
Okay.
So before
if there's any question that anybody would like to say,
any question, yes,
you can leave them on the comment section. I will answer your questions as well as we go.
Okay, so any questions? If you have any, please put your questions on the chat box. Thank you so much. I can see you joining us. I see every one of you. So please type your questions, because I know this particular topic is very crucial in relationship, and we don't want to pretend that we know it all. So please write your questions down and then we will get back to you. But before we go, can you throw a light, just about a few minutes, throw a light into anger and pride, please? Just elaborate it a little bit.
Okay, right. Anger and pride. That's the biggest elephant in the room. And that's what most people, everything in life, you have to be aware of how you react. There are times when there are provocative questions from people. There are times when people belittle you. There are times when people anger you, you know, but if you know what you are and who you are, you should eliminate anger, because that's the biggest killer. If anger brings you to a state, uncontrollable state in an argument, it brings you to a state where you find yourself uncontrollable. It brings you to a state in a way where you find yourself not wanting to do anything because you're full of anger. It's a bad spirit, a very bad spirit that you will not take. Yes, like I've mentioned before, people do provocate you in a different way, and people do press your button. They really do press your button. I learned to stay calm in any situation. By the way, everything in this life has a time and its season and a purpose. And if you ever find yourself in that situation, stay calm, breathe in, breathe out. Say, this is not my fight. I leave this fight to God. Oh, I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to respond. So, because the way, if you don't respond, you've won the fight. You have won the fight. We should not take things for granted. Pride is another thing. You don't, you know, just be in that set of prideness that you don't want to engage with people. You don't want to interact with people because you feel that, oh, I am Dr. Maroon, I am Dr. this or Professor this. I don't think I can interact with people. No. For me, serving is my calling. I like to serve people. So in the form of pride, you take pride and replace it with humility. Humility is one of the things that you take at all times, everywhere you go. And that's what I do every time. And it works for me so perfectly. So if we can remove pride and replace it with humility, if we can remove anger and replace it with gentleness, that will solve your problems. You'll be able to live with everyone in this world positively. Learn to walk away. Learn to walk away. Don't engage in fighting. Walk away. And you need your peace. You need your tranquility. Peace of mind, it's so important in this life. And that's my quick recap.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really got your response to that. And it is very, very important. Exactly what I want you to say, you've said it, that it's the biggest elephant in the room. Oh, yes, anger and pride. And some of the things that we can use to really come out of this anger and pride is willingness to serve others. Then number 2, humility.
Yes.
Then be patient and be tolerant, because we are not the same and we are not perfect.
We are all different. We are all different. We have different views. We grew up differently.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But we learn to accommodate each other.
Oh, yes. And also to understand one another.
It's
very important. And then be gentle. So thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Chancellor, Professor Elizabeth Koroma. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your valuable knowledge that you have shared with us today. And we will continue to learn.
It's a pleasure being here today. Honestly,
so
with all my busy schedule, it's a pleasure being here
Thank
today.
you. We really appreciate your
session.
Time.
And I hope everybody did enjoy the session today.
Yes, I can see. Oh my God, my mentors is joining. Professors TP Cllr, TP Sasikuma is also joining.
Welcome.
Dr. Dewedi is here. Dr. Inga is here. Ambassador Forak Mura is here. Oh my God.
Oh, wonderful to have you all on board.
Dr.
It's
Inga
good to see
is
you all.
here.
Oh,
Even
that's
Professor
wonderful.
Kayode is here. So we've learned a lot.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for listening today. I hope you take that on board in your own personal relationships.
Yes, because that is the most important thing.
It is very important. Yes, it's very important.
Yeah, because
there's always a way to solve situations.
Exactly. And because we want to improve, we want to feel, we want to see changes in our relationship.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
So that is why we keep learning and keep learning.
We must do the change. We must do the change.
Yes.
Start with you. It start with me. It start with you.
Yes. It will start with us individual. Because if we can work on ourselves, then it's so easy as well to add value to others.
Absolutely.
Very important that we try to see transformation in our relationship.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. And
you're most welcome.
Hope you'll be ready for us next time, because we will be knocking your door.
I hope you can catch me if you can.
Okay, now we can move forward quickly because of the time, because my doctor, Patrick, is waiting patiently.